You touched on the US-China relationship, so let me push that a little. Now, the US-China relationship seems to have stabilized slightly under President Trump and President Xi. Both presidents seem to want to make the relationship work for specific outcomes. Do you see this relationship holding for the next 3 years? And what issues can derail this fragile stability?
Well, for the immediate future, maybe even 3 years, I think the desire not to incur a huge economic cost, whether it's rare earths, whether it's pharmaceuticals, whether it's electronics, will ensure that both sides do not wish to join issue and make a conflict. But in terms of the underlying issues between the two countries, I don't think that they have been addressed at all, nor are they easy to address, and they remain there, and they're very difficult to solve. Because the fundamental thing is, the US is a status quo power, China is growing, developing, and China says, well, I'm happy to live in this world, I accept this framework. But the US says, maybe today, but what happens when in fact your GDP exceeds mine by 20, 30%, can I still be sure that that will be your position? And so the US wants to keep the Chinese, if not down, at least some distance below them. And that's a fundamental contradiction, because to the Chinese, their right to develop is a red line. They have to be entitled to grow and to fulfill their full potential. So how do you reconcile that? And even if this administration doesn't want to join issue, the Congress, the US political security establishment, they see this as an existential issue. So I think the tensions will remain there. What can trigger it? You could have an incident. If you have an EP3 type incident, like happened with the second Bush administration in 1992, not 1992, in 2001, will it be so easy to solve as last time? It could easily happen over the South China Sea or somewhere else. You could have an issue where tensions grow, you don't go to war, but you actually have a friction. You actually have a matter which comes to a head. For example, when the balloon floated over the US a couple of years ago, and suddenly you have an incident which maybe neither side intended. You could also have a misassessment of the other side. I think that I'm rising and you are on the decline. You think that I have a superior, or he thinks that the other party has an inferior system and I will outdo you and I can keep you down. And so history is on my side. Let's give history a shove. And I think that's going to be a problem, because China is not a pushover. America is, for all its difficulties, is not going to disappear. And as Henry Kissinger often said, a war between the US and China cannot be won and must not be fought. But that's not something which is top of mind, I think, right now in the decision makers